introducing the Edge Tackle range of landing nets. Now Richard, we've got a really comprehensive range of nets here. We've kind of got 4 different styles.
Yes.
So we're focusing on pleasure fishing, match fishing and specimen fishing.
Yep.
So let's start with the smallest net first. So this is like a match net, isn't it?
Yep, this is the smallest net in the range. This is our 14-inch or 35cm match net. We also do one size up, which is a 16-inch.
Yeah.
It has 9mm D-shaped aluminium, and it has a smaller, lighter spreader block. Everything on that is to reduce weight.
So that was the whole concept with this, wasn't it? So obviously when you're match fishing, perhaps catching lots of silver fish or smaller F1s, in terms of efficiency, a lighter net like this, it's just much easier to fish with.
If you've got, let's say, a 4-metre landing net handle, that is much, much nicer to use and easier and quicker to use.
And if you're hopefully catching lots of fish, you know, it's less fatigue, a much lighter net. So I think they're absolutely beautiful. I think they're going to be really, really popular, like for canal fishing, silver fish fishing, like I say, smaller F1s on commercials.
The other good thing about that is, it's the shallowest net.
Yeah.
It's not shallow, as in, you're not in any danger of like spilling a fish, but you know what it's like. If you're netting lots of fish, you don't want to be bending over too far to try and dig the fish out of the net. So the match nets are the shallowest net, and they've also got this 4mm mesh on it, which it is hook resistant. That doesn't mean to say that you can never get a barred hook in it, but there's less chance, and it's much easier to get out even if you do. And
the fact that it's easier to move through the water.
Absolutely.
So if you're netting fish quickly, you know, you're not getting the resistance from the net. So that's our match net, and we've got two sizes in that. Now, the sort of main sort of match range, if you like, we've got 2 versions. We've actually got 2 sizes in each, haven't we, again?
Yep, we have.
And the main difference is it's the same frame, but we've got 2 different meshes.
Yes.
So we've got what we call the carp fast net, which is the same sort of concept we talked about. So it's got a larger mesh for quickly netting fish, less resistance.
Yep, that's 10mm mesh approximately.
Yeah, and then we've got what we call the carp hair version, which has got a much finer micro mesh.
Approximately 3mm.
Yeah. So some anglers prefer a finer mesh. In the past, it's been associated where you're using a hair rig, like with a stopper. It stops it from getting caught in the net.
There's far less chance to do it in that one, whereas obviously this one is great for speed through water, but that's much better if you're using a hair rig.
But I really like the fact that we're offering 2 meshes, because if you've got 100 anglers, you know, they wouldn't all like the same mesh and the same. So we've actually got the same frames, but with 2 options.
Yeah, the aluminium used on the carp nets is one size up on the aluminium used on the match, so it's stronger and more rigid. It's a stiffer aluminium frame.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I want to reference is actually about the spreader block. If you could just talk about the design on that, because I know you spent a long time getting this right.
Yeah, if you look at what we would use on the smallest, lightest nets, that is perfectly good and perfectly strong.
Yeah.
But when you go up a size of frame and you're expecting to catch bigger, heavier fish, you want a stronger spreader.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that on the match ones, there are only 2 screws.
Yeah.
You don't need any more on that. On this one, you've got 2 screws aside, so you've got 4.
Yeah.
It's a bigger spreader.
Yeah.
But in here, you'll notice that in some, the thread that goes inside is very, very short. So it breaks out really easily.
So this isn't one of our spreader blocks, this is from a competitor, but this isn't as strong as ours.
No. The thread that went in there, basically it was a piece of threaded bar.
Yeah.
And it was very, very short and only went in the short way, and they break out too easily.
Yeah.
So what we've done, other than we're using stainless steel threads again, just like we do in our keep nets, not brass, I'm not sure if the camera can pick this up, but in here you'll notice that the stainless steel goes in, but it actually, instead of it just going to say here, which is only about 5mm, it goes all the way up to here. But also that stainless steel isn't just a piece of bar, it's machined with a big flat, so you can't twist it or break it out.
Yeah. Well, as with the keep nets, I've been using the landing nets for over 12 months, as has some of our other brand ambassadors, and we haven't managed to break one. So we're very, very confident about the strength of the nets, which is a really important factor.
Oh, they're great.
Still, these aren't heavy, you know, they're still a nice light net, but they're much stronger than any of the landing nets I've used in the past.
The other thing about those, by comparison to the match ones, is the carp ones are just that little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Because you're catching bigger fish.
Yeah, sure. So we call it carp, but for me, that's the type of net that I love to fish, even on rivers, you know, where I'm catching bigger fish like chub and barbel or a mixed catch of fish. I don't want to compromise on having too small a net, so I prefer a larger net.
You're expecting the biggest fish every time.
I just want to make sure I can land the fish that I've got.
Everything goes in it.
To go up a level is our specimen nets. Now, we've got 2 of these, haven't we, in the range?
Yep, there's a 20-inch and a 22-inch, which is this one.
Yeah, so this is now a step up again in terms of size and capacity.
Absolutely.
What mesh have we used on these, Richard?
Again, you've got a 10mm side mesh, but you've got an 8mm base mesh.
Yeah.
The reason for doing this is quite a lot of anglers will unhook the fish in the landing net, so you wanted something slightly softer for the fish to lay on.
Sure.
Even if you've got an unhooking mat, you still want something inside that's soft.
And I really like these nets. I've used both the sizes for situations like where I'm roving on a river, you know, catching bigger fish like chub and barbel, and also on commercials when I'm targeting bigger carp. You know, carp on commercials now are getting pretty big, and you do need a bigger net. So this just makes the job so easy.
And the other good thing about this is, even though that's a big landing net head, it will still go comfortably inside our carp keep nets.
Yeah. So it's absolutely brilliant. I love the range, Rich. Thanks for everything. All the details are on the website.